All right, guys. So Carlos here again with AgentandBrokerTraining.com. Today we have a special treat, Mr. Michael Leb. If you're in our circle with Healthcare Solutions team, Michael Leb is probably when he first started, he was probably one of the top producers in the country, and now he has grown, scaled up, and he has a humongous team. He's on the other side now. He's managing agents, and he's just, doing what hopefully this website does for other people. He helps get those agents over the hump and through to success, I guess you want to call it. So, Mike, thanks for giving us some time, man.
My pleasure. This is great. I love it.
So, Mike, tell me what brought you to the business. How did you become an insurance agent?
I'm an old school car guy. I spent 10 years in the auto industry, walking lots, slinging metal, right? The problem with car sales to me was always that you make a sale and it's a one-time pop commission, okay? And you had to hope that that person would come back 2-3 years later and you'd make another sale. What always intrigued me about the insurance industry was the residual income, right? And I like the fact that I don't have to go to a particular client's home with this, right? I can do this from my own home. I can do it over the phone, or I can go visit people in person if I choose. I am in more control of my business. So just all those things really appealed to me.
How did you get introduced to health insurance? My personal thing was I always heard about residual income. I just didn't know where that came from or what kind of job.
Well, the honest truth, and people have
without giving us your deepest, darkest secrets.
No. This is all good stuff.
Stories.
This is all good stuff. So you know my wife, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was in between jobs in the car industry, and my buddy was selling insurance for a Medicare agency up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And he had heard that I was, kind of shopping around looking to do something, and he invited me up to a interview. He said, "Hey, we got this great thing going on. I'm selling insurance. I'm loving it. Mike, I think you need to get into it." And I said, No, that's okay. I'm a car guy, right? I'm not insurance. I'm a car guy. Well, finally, he convinced me to come up because he offered me a free lunch.
Nice.
So I said, okay, fine.
Nice.
I'll go. I'll get a free lunch out of you. I have no interest in taking the job. Well, I get in there and I'm thinking that it's a one-on-one interview, right? No, it's a cattle call. I walk in, there's 50 other people in the room,
right?
That are all interviewing for the same job. And the gal comes in and she gives her speech. And again, this is not with Healthcare Solutions team, but this was a different agency. She gives her speech, and I loved all the things I was hearing, the residual income. And, that it seemed like what I was looking for, but I only took the position. Carlos, to meet the smiley girl on the other end of the interview class. The honest truth is I got in the insurance business to chase a girl who's now my wife, so I can tell that story.
That sounds like a movie, man.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, but it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay. All right, so you were chasing the girl.
That's what got me into the insurance.
Now we can make this into a movie. Now you got a son, maybe 3 or 4 more kids in the future.
That's right.
Dang.
That's right.
Had I not taken it serious.
Yeah, no, that is. Had I not taken that interview, my life would be completely different.
Cool, man. Cool. So, new agents trying to be like you, trying to be like a lot of successful agents in the business. Was there a daily routine when you first started?
Yes.
What was it?
So, I've always been big on controlling what I can control. Okay. Yeah. You know me. You've known me for a long time. I'm very process-driven, very system-driven.
This is true.
Okay. So I wanted to control what I can control. I can't control how many sales I make a day. I can't control how many people answer the phone. I can't control how many quotes I send out, right? Those are all variables. What I can control is my activity. So I set myself daily goals of how many times I'm going to pick up that phone and dial it, because I was doing everything over the phone at that time, right? Dial that phone to talk to somebody about insurance. And I knew it's just a law of averages, right? The more dials I made, the more people I'm going to talk to, the more people I talk to, the more insurance I will sell, the more insurance I sell, the more I go to the bank, right? Mm-hmm. Control what you can control, and everything else falls into place. Sales is not a numbers game, but marketing is. Focus on the marketing first, work on yourself, on your sales skills, and everything else takes care of itself.
So go out there, talk to people, prospect,
Correct.
and then learn how to sell the product
Correct.
afterwards. Huh?
Correct. You
Okay.
can't learn to sell somebody
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have anybody to sell to.
That makes sense.
Okay, you have to work on the marketing first. You have to put in the effort, put in the dials, and that's what I tried to focus on, and it worked, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, I was not an expert in the beginning, and neither was Sarah when she started. But it just through repetition, you get better, right? Repetition is the mother of all learning. So the more you do it, the better you're going to become. So many people I see, so many brand new agents, dial the phone 10 times, talk to one person, don't sell that person, say, oh, I'm no good, I can't
Right.
do this.
Right.
No.
Little do they know that's practice, and they're
Correct.
getting better at their craft.
Correct. Correct.
So speaking of phone calls,
Mhm.
one of the number one questions that always comes up with new agents is, how many phone calls am I making a day?
Sure. The magic number is 100, right? I mean, that's what you hear everyone talk about. That's what I set my goal at. It's a nice big round number. 100 is a good benchmark in the beginning. I found that's what I set Sarah up on. All my new agents start at 100 dials per day. You're not going to get there on day number one. It takes you a few days to get enough leads, get enough clients to be able to make 100 calls a day. But I promise you, if you make 100 dials a day, consistently, each and every day, it won't be long before you're not able to make 100 dials a day anymore, because you have so many appointments and people calling you, and that you create your own busyness.
Does that mean 100 phone calls where somebody picks up the phone?
No, that means 100 outbound attempts where the purpose of that phone call is going to be to try to talk to somebody about insurance. Does that make sense?
Yep. On the subject of phone calls, other question that comes up: what time of day should I be calling?
Okay. My rule is never before 8 a.m. their time or after 8 p.m. their time, but everything in between, you want to try to hit them, right? So many times I talk to agents and they say, well, I made my 100 dials. It was all in the morning, right? I do all my follow-up calls in the morning, and then I send out quotes in the afternoon. Well, the problem with that is that you're only reaching people that can answer the phone in the morning, right? When we get leads, when you are working with internet leads especially, right? It doesn't say on there when they work and when their free time is, right? We don't know what their schedule is. If you call at 10 o'clock every day and don't get an answer today, what expects you, or what leads you to believe that they're going to answer at 10 o'clock tomorrow, right? They could be working. Maybe that's when they take their yoga class. We don't know. So you have to hit them at drastic different points of the day. Try them early mornings, try them late evenings, try them in the middle of the day. Throughout your follow-up process, hit them at different points. You'll have a much more success.
How long did it take you to make your first sale?
2 days.
You're better than the rest.
2 days, not yet. But here's why. I knew going in that day number one, I was not going to pitch a single product. I knew that first day I picked up the phone, if somebody answered, there was no pressure of me making a sale, because I knew I wasn't going to do it. I didn't know what I didn't know yet. I didn't know how to run all the quotes with all the different carriers. I didn't spend 3 months studying brochures, because I knew the second I got comfortable that they changed the plans on me anyway, right? So I knew that first day was just about getting to meet somebody. Let me meet somebody. So somebody answered the phone. I talked to them, gathered all the information, told them I was going to do some research for them, right? And they appreciated that. Then I called my manager. And say, hey, Mark, here's what I got. I just talked to this guy. He's 32 years old. He's diabetic. His wife is pregnant. They got 2 kids. They can only afford $200 a month. What should I do? Right? And then we went back and forth, and we put together different quotes, and that is how you start to learn this business. So I knew then the next day when I called him, and thankfully he answered for his appointment, right?
Yeah.
I had the confidence of, this is exactly what I want to present to you, because I did the research. And just by doing that over and over and over again, pretty quickly, I got so comfortable that when I'm talking to somebody on the phone for the first time, my mind's already going where I want to go, and I can go for that one call close. But I think so many agents make the mistake of feeling that pressure that they have to make the sale on the very first call. that they fumble through it and that they reek of desperation to the client. And if you approach it right, I think you can have a lot earlier success.
That was my next question. So how do you approach it right? What's your mentality? What's your psychology when you're on the phone for the first time with the client or the 50th time with the client? What's your thought? What's your feeling? How do you approach them?
Okay. Sales is all about positioning, right? So you need to position yourself in their eyes. You need to position yourself to that client that you are the one they want to work with. If you can do that, if you can portray to them that, hey, I'm not pushy, I'm not a call center, I'm here to truly help you, right? I am here to help you find an affordable plan for you and your family. If you can position that, they'll put up with, I don't know that answer, and let me check with my manager, or let me get back to you on those types of things. They appreciate that because they believe in you, okay? So what I try to get agents to do is just position themselves as, hey, here's who I am, this is what I'm going to do for you, and set up that expectation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. So obviously you make a sale to a client.
Yep.
They're confident in you, they love you, they feel you're their insurance agent for the rest of their life, and they're going to refer you their brother, sister, family members, anybody they know.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
What do you do to get new clients besides those referrals? What kind of marketing strategies do you have, or do you have in place for your agents to...
Our marketing is actually very simple, right? We don't advertise on the radio. We don't advertise in newspapers, any of those types of things. Not that there's anything wrong with those. I have just found that there's the two most successful methods of obtaining clients in our business, okay, in the health and life insurance world, is number one, invest back in your business and purchase leads. If you guys are not investing in your business, you're not in a business. Okay, you have no business. We are all independent business owners, and you cannot expect success without investing in. So I always took 20% of whatever I made, stuck it back into the business. Yeah, it sucked in the beginning. It was hard, right? I could really use that 20% to put gas in my car. But I knew, thinking big picture, long term, that was going to pay back. And
it's paid back
hundreds and hundreds of times
300 times over.
Right. The second thing is I set myself up, and I set Sarah up too, in affinity partnerships with people that do what we do, but don't want to sell what we sell. Okay? Find those types of referral sources. People that are in the insurance business or in a position that they're talking to people on a daily basis that don't want to sell your product. Health insurance, right? I hit up tons of Medicare agencies. What do Medicare agents do every day? They're out there talking to people turning 65. Well, we all know that both spouses don't turn 65 at the same time. So these Medicare-only agencies are in there talking to Bill, who's turning 65, while Mary is still 62 years old, and they need to figure...
25.
She's 20. Yeah, those are interesting points too. But those situations need to be handled first before that agent can sell the Medicare product. So rather than saying, sorry, I don't offer that, please call your other agent or whatever, here, call Mike Lebb. He'll take care of Mary's insurance. That allows me to take care of you. And that agent knows that if they refer that Mary to me, right, I'm going to put cash in their pocket. I'm going to send them a referral fee, right, $25 or whatever.
Okay.
I don't ever recommend setting it up that I scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? I'll send all my Medicare business to you if you send all your under 65 business to me, and so on and so forth, because it never works, right? And people forget about you. Okay. You put cash in somebody's pocket,
They won't forget.
they won't forget you.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
Besides the Medicare agencies, what are your other ones?
well, think about it. I sell Medicare as well, right? So I'll go to places that just sell under 65 and set up the same type of partnership. Always understanding that the agreement that I enter into with that agent is I will never touch anything that you offer in that household.
Yep.
Okay? So I can sell Medicare, yes, but if I get a referral from somebody I know whose main business is Medicare, and that person, that referral starts talking about Medicare, I'm saying, hey, you know what? Jason is the prime person to be talking about. They have all the best products. You should really talk to him. We've sold more insurance for other agents than we have for ourselves, just going in that back and forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense, and it's when you think about it, it's a no-brainer,
Yeah.
right? You just gotta.
But you have to be a man of your word with that.
Mhm.
You cannot cross those boundaries, because once your reputation's done and you do sell somebody Medicare that was a Medicare referral, right? Now your reputation's done.
One thing we try not to do is, mess with somebody's trust because of money,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
You don't want to do that.
No.
Because then once you get a bad rap, it's like everybody hears about the bad rap as opposed to everything good you've done.
It takes a lifetime to build a reputation and 2 seconds to lose it.
You got it. Well, Mike, now you're on the kind of on the other side, managing agents and building your agency. What told you needed to take that next step? That be on the scaling wide, managing an agency, hiring new agents, recruiting new agents. What made you do the switch?
A very wise man told me once, you will never outproduce a team. And I never forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how successful you are as a personal producer, and my wife is a prime example of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
My team will still outproduce her. You will never outproduce a team. And the other thing that happens is, we all want family lives. We don't want to work 12 hours a day every day, right? By developing a team, once I was ready to do that, right? And that's not for everyone right in the beginning. That's not what this is about. But once I was ready and I felt I was comfortable enough and had the knowledge and the support, the structure there to do it, it allowed me to step back just a little bit. If I want to go take a vacation, and my wife and I went to Europe for 32 days, right? Every day I woke up knowing that my business was still running, right? If I shut down, my business doesn't shut down. If I'm only one person, if I take a day off, my business is closed for a day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes complete sense.
And I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping people grow their businesses. That's really where I get a kick out of this. My wife, she loves working with the clients. I love working with the agents, right? I love watching a new agent come from nothing and grow their empire.
That's amazing, man. One day we're gonna be like you. Everybody in this office is gonna be.
I
like
hope you're
you.
bigger than me. I hope you're bigger than me.
Well, Mike, everybody that I try to interview, I look at them as a mentor, right? There's always something you can learn from somebody who's successful, no matter what kind of business they're in, right?
Yep.
Personal question to you is, who's been your mentor? Who do you think has been the biggest influence in your career? We hope that this website would act like a mentor to those new agents or agents that have been in the business for quite a long time. But you personally, who would you say has been your biggest mentor?
Well, Joe Aikman, Healthcare Solutions team, obviously I have to start there. He taught me the insurance business, right? Without him and Healthcare Solutions team here, I wouldn't, I don't know where I would be. I wouldn't be where I am, okay? Another big mentor for me in this business, and it's actually a gentleman that I've never met, personally I've never met, but I've read every one of his books, probably 7 or 8 times over. In fact, I read another one, reread it again yesterday. And watch all
one book in one day. Come on.
Oh no, it's a little book.
Okay.
But Darren Sugiyama.
Darren Sugiyama.
Darren Sugiyama.
Never heard of him.
He owns a very large group health insurance agency down in Southern California.
Okay.
He does life insurance and investments and all that kind of stuff now, but he started off in the group health world, and just a straight shooter, has so many good ideas. Very systematic like me, right? Taught me the importance of running a system-driven business, not a people-driven business. Okay. And if you know what the difference is, people-driven businesses is revolving around just having talented people doing their thing and profiting off of what they do. Okay. When you have that, people are going to hold you hostage. It's not a sustainable business model. But when you have a system-driven business, when you have a process for everything, and I know you agree with me on this, you can teach a system-driven business. You can teach people how to be successful. Don't just say, well, just do whatever Sarah Lev does, right? Because that might not work for you. Create a system that people can plug into. And you can also then tell, if everyone's doing things the same way, you can tell where someone's failing. You can identify.
We're gonna have to look him up. We're gonna have to start reading for
Darren Sugiyama.
I don't read, and now I think I'm gonna have to start reading.
Just read
man.
it.
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
Mike, anybody out there that is looking to jump into business, Mike is based out of Wisconsin, so don't be afraid to reach out to us, and we'll send him an email if you want to talk to him personally. But
Absolutely.
Mike, I do appreciate your time, man. It's stuff like this is invaluable to me, man. I wish I could write you $1 million check, but I don't.
I
have the
won't
money.
stop you. You can absolutely do it.
Thanks again, man.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.